Welcome to www.findingbraids.com. I'm going to show how to do a 7-strand braid on yourself. It's very tricky, so be patient with yourself while you learn. Gather some hair off the top. And this will be a Dutch, not French, so it's going to sit on top, so it's more prominent showing. I'm using some gel in my fingers to help keep track of those strands. It's easier to feel them when the strands are separated, so I use gel to do that. I'm going to start by taking a strand in my whole fist, and then I'm going under to take a strand, my middle finger is taking the strand that I just skipped. The middle finger is going to also weave again, so I'm going to go under another strand, and I'm going to take two with my middle finger. So it has one now, going under, it's taking another one. My pointer finger is going to take the one that we just skipped and a little bit more hair. I'm going to break what's left into two strands because my pointer finger needs to go under and take a strand, and then the strand that was skipped gets placed between the thumb and the pointer finger. So there are 7 strands being held. There's 2 strands and 2 fingers. So we're going to weave the exact same way going back across because it's an even number strand. Both hands can make the same weave. So we take that first one in the whole fist, and then we need to, because the pointer finger has 2, we need to figure out which one to take with the ring. The ring goes under and takes the further one. Middle takes the one we just skipped. The middle needs to have 2, so the middle goes under and takes, pointer takes, and the pointer goes under and takes. And then we place that last one between the thumb and the pointer. At this point we're going to gather, which makes it really difficult. So take as small of a sliver as you can off the top of the hair. The less you take, the better. Makes the braid take longer, but you really don't want to add a big gather at first. It goes in the pointer finger, in between the pointer and the middle, making that second strand bigger, so it gathers under. You can see as I pull this strand aside, it went under to go into the second strand. Get a little bit more gel. Gel that strand so we know it's separate. So take with the whole fist that first one, figure out what is the difference between those 2 strands. The ring goes under and takes, middle takes. The middle's also going to go under and take. The pointer takes, and the pointer goes under to take. The strand that got skipped gets placed between the thumb and the pointer. We're going to gather on this side as well. It's going to gather the exact same as the opposite side. Just a sliver off the top. The less the better. And it goes into the second strand. So it goes between the pointer and the middle finger. And I have gel to keep the strand separate. When I pull this aside, you can see that that gather went under. So the whole fist takes that first one, and then what I'm doing with my pointer finger is, I know I have 2 strands in there, I'm lifting it up, I'm finding those 2 strands, and I'm separating them so that my ring finger can go under and take the further one. Middle finger takes the closer one, The middle finger needs to go under, so you saw this middle finger has two as well. It lifts up and separates so that this middle can go under, take the further one. Pointer takes, goes under and takes, leaving this last one to go in between the thumb and the first finger. And gather on this side. Sliver, just the tiniest sliver. If you take a big gather and put them in there, it messes everything up. It's really hard to keep track of at that point. I'm going to try to keep all these strands as close to the same size as possible. Oops, and I just put that in my thumb, which I don't want to do. It actually goes into the second strand, so it goes under into the pointer and middle finger. So when I pull aside this first one, you can see it's underneath there. So whole fist takes that first one. My pointer finger is just going to find those two strands and separate them so that my ring can go under and take. Middle takes. Middle needs a second strand. Both middle fingers are working right now. One's moving to separate these. The other's going under to take the further one. Pointer takes one we just skipped while it goes under and takes the last one. The one that got skipped just gets put between the thumb and the pointer. A little bit more gel, keep these separated. At this point, also it helps to kind of comb out that mess you're making down there. And we gather sliver. Super thin sliver. The less you take, the easier it will be to braid. Sliver that. It goes under into the first pointer and the middle is holding it. And pull aside this first strand, so you can see that gather in there. Pull it aside with the whole fist, which I really call the pinky. So the pinky takes, ring goes under and takes, middle takes, middle also goes under and takes, pointer takes, goes under and takes. Gather sliver. Super, super thin. The less hair the better. Take it all the way from the face, all the way back to the braid. Just kind of grab up that hair, tiny little bits at a time, all the way back. Goes into the pointer and middle finger. Pull aside this strand. You can see the gathers under there. So pinky takes, ring goes under and takes, middle takes. Middle needs to also go under again and take, so it has two. Pointer takes, goes under and takes, so it has two. And this last one gets set between the thumb and the pointer. Gather a tiny sliver of hair, shave it right off the top. Gather into the second strand. And pinky takes. Ring goes under, takes, middle takes, middle goes under and takes, pointer goes under and takes. And I feel it getting a little messy back here. I'm going to comb it. Use a little bit more gel on this new first strand, and then take a gather. Sliver off the top. All these strands are growing at an equal rate, so it's easier to keep track of them. There's not huge chunky differences. Pinky, ring goes under and takes. Middle takes and goes under and takes. Pointer takes, goes under and takes. A little bit of gel for that first new strand. Keep it separated. Gather from the face all the way back to the braid. Just get a nice even gather there from the face to the braid. Touch more gel. Pinky takes, ring goes under, takes, pointer takes. Middle takes, middle goes under and takes, pointer goes under and takes. The last strand gets set between the thumb and the pointer. Got a little brush, gel, and gather. All the way from the face back to the braid, just a tiny sliver. Move the second strand. Pull aside this first one, take it with the pinky, separate those two with your pointer, ring goes under, takes the further one, middle takes, separate with the middle, middle goes under and takes the further, pointer takes, pointer goes under and takes. Sliver the top off from the face, back to the braid, put it in the second strand. Pull this one aside, you can see how that gather goes under there into the second strand. Pinky takes, ring goes under and takes, middle takes. Middle needs the second strand, so the middle goes under and takes. Pointer takes, pointer needs the second strand, it goes under and takes. Last one gets set between the thumb and the pointer. Gather into the second strand. By now you should be feeling that burn in your arms. Braiding your own hair is not for the faint of heart. It sure does look pretty. Okay, pinky, ring goes under, middle takes, middle goes under, pointer takes, pointer goes under. And last gather on this side, goes into the second strand, pinky takes, ring goes under and takes, middle goes under and takes, pointer goes under and takes. Last side, gather on this side. And take pinky, ring goes under, takes, middle goes under, takes, pointer goes under, takes. So at this point we can stop gathering. Thank goodness. We can also take a break. Oh, okay. At this point you can just keep braiding all the way out, back behind you. If you're crazy skilled and flexible, bring it over your shoulder and keep braiding this way, or you can stop, wrap up the tail part underneath, and just have this braided. Totally up to you. A lot easier to braid when you're not talking. For me, I just lean forward, stretch my arms out behind me. That way I don't get those kinks. It's easier to braid over your shoulder, but the braid kinks, and it's almost impossible to get that crooked corner kink out once it's gone over your shoulder. So I just stretch like a maniac. And if you do it every day, your arms get used to it. Of course, it doesn't make it any more fun. Tie off the back. Kind of push with your thumbs up to lift up the center. Kind of flatten that out a little bit. Feels good. And one thing that I use to really make these stand out, it's pretty prominent the way it is, but if you stick some decor in there, people really love looking at your braid when there's decorations. And it really makes that braid stand out, adds a lot of definition. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it looks good.